What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and welcome to the video. In this video, we had the pleasure of interviewing Russell Starr, who is the CEO of Trillium Gold. Trillium Gold recently announced that they've acquired 100% of their flagship asset, the Newman Todd property. They're the largest land owner in Red Lake, Ontario, very prolific mining jurisdiction. And we've got more news on their drill program. So this is an awesome update, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get straight into it. And the last thing I wanted to say is if you do support me, the channel, and all of the updates that we bring to you guys about the awesome companies that we talk about, don't forget to explode that like button. Drop us a comment down below, along with cashing that subscribe button and ringing the market bell for notifications. And let's get straight into this awesome interview. What's going on, guys? This is Aaron with Departures Capital. We're here with Russell Starr, CEO of Trillium Gold. Nice to have you back, Russell. How are you doing?
I'm good, Aaron. How about yourself?
Great. Excited to get an update. So, it's been a while since you've been on the channel, since we last spoke. Can you give us some updates on Trillium?
Well, look, we continue to do what we promised to do to shareholders. We're drilling at Newman Todd. We have an exceptional treasury as we sit today. It's 11.8 or 12 million bucks in the bank. 7 drill holes are in the assay lab. We're going to finish another 1 or 2 before the Christmas season hits. But if everybody's been watching and everybody's aware, we've added in quite a substantial amount of land in what's called the Birch Uchi area in Red Lake. And, quietly, people should be reading Great Bear's press releases. They just moved into that area. Prosper Gold just had what one of my colleagues described as maybe the next most significant find in the area. They found a bunch of pristine gold grains in Till. That is literally our neighbor. But as we all know, the market isn't always sophisticated and paying attention. And so we sit at kind of a $38 million enterprise value with plus 100 GT hold, Gold Center, Evolution's our neighbor, and then obviously everything we've got in the Birch Uchi. So lots happening, but it's obviously coming on Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk a little bit about Newman Todd. You guys acquired now 100%. Why is that so important?
Yep. Well, anytime you don't own 100% of your project, it's not a good thing. You do your best with what you have, but the holy grail in the industry is obviously controlling 100% of a project, especially one that's got as much gold in it as Newman Todd does. So it just gives us fewer headaches. It allows us to capture, in my opinion, 100% of the benefit, although again, we announced that we got 100% of it, and theoretically you'd think the stock would rally a little bit on that, but it didn't really do anything. So yeah, it's just more for our current shareholders, anybody who's contemplating joining us on this journey. Owning 100% of your key asset is always the way to go. So for example, in Gold Center, we wanted 100% of that, but Rupert just felt like there was too much potential for that property. So we had to settle on an 80-20. Would love to have 100 of it, but in that particular case, that's the best we could do.
Yeah, regarding the share price too, gold was dropping when you guys announced that. Unfortunately, we were still in that correction. So There was probably also a bit to do with timing. So, just talking valuation wise while we're at it, you mentioned before, Trillium was once 100 million plus market cap company. You guys didn't own 100% of Newman Todd or your other land packages. How should investors think valuation now, or can you comment on that a little bit?
Well, yeah, no, of course, and everybody should always be thinking that way. My argument would be we're at a very, very depressed share price right now relative to where we were in 2013. The apples to apples comparison, now that we own 100% of Newman Todd, is actually a $200 million valuation for Newman Todd. So we're trading at a fifth of that value. We've already hit 100 GT hole. I can tell you we're seeing VG everywhere in our drill holes. I just can't tell you what they're running. I cannot make that off the cuff remark. It's there, which is always a good thing. But yeah, no, we've embarked on building what I would consider to be a really formidable company. We're now the largest landholder in Red Lake, basically bigger than anybody else.
Wow.
And honestly, trading at 1/5 basically, or sorry, 1/4 of that $200 million valuation. I guess it'd be 1/5 if you include our cash. So it's a very compelling investment thesis right now.
Definitely. So let's talk a little bit about your drill program. I know you mentioned a few things, but can you give us any more updates on that?
Yeah, so we only have one drill turning right now. We fully anticipate bringing a second rig on in January. We should have our permit for Rivard, which is, if everybody remembers, is the neighbor to Newman Todd with all of those high-grade veins. So we'll start ramping up our drilling at the end of January when Rivard has the permit. And it's really just a 50-day window, and we're already kind of halfway through that. And, you know, we're seeing what we want to see. We are learning more about the structures that control Newman Todd, which is always a good thing. And look, what we just have to continue to try to deliver to shareholders is, you know, 50 GT to 100 GT holes over meter width, where you can actually start having more and more confidence that Newman Todd is what we believe it to be, and that is inevitably a mine, or at least ore that gets thrown on Newman Todd, or sorry, Battle North or Evolution's mills.
Great. So, you know, you guys also acquired 15,000 hectares in the Confederation Greenstone belt. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so that's that Bertucci area I was telling you about, where Prosper just had the big discovery, or theoretical discovery. I know that there's some mid-tiers that are moving into the area. I can tell you that in Great Bear's last press release, where they put out that Paula Rogers had joined their board, deeply buried at the bottom of that press release was them acquiring a bunch of land in the Bertucci area. And it's another great area in the Red Lake jurisdiction with, well, we believe more and more gold to be found. Historically, it's been viewed as kind of that VMS area. But, you know, our view was, look, we're at the bottom of this gold bull run. We should be accumulating good properties, as many as we can, within reason. So we're not, you know, destroying our treasury, so that we're positioned for not just one or two discoveries, but multiple discoveries. You know, well, Newman Todd, Gold Center, Leo, any of that Confed belt, there's a potential Great Bear on any of those.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that you guys have so much cash now, also relative to your market cap, I think that's great. And now you can put that into action and hopefully unlock more shareholder value. So how do you feel about gold going into 2021?
Look, honestly, when the onslaught, or whatever you want to call it, occurred, when it dropped sort of precipitously $200 over like a couple of weeks, that had more to do with option expiry and basically just the paper trade in the US. Anyone you speak to who trades physical gold basically is still saying the same thing. You can barely find any physical gold, or silver for that matter. And the premiums for physical are staggering. So, you know, every rally has small, call it corrections. That's where I would basically put that little sell-off. People still need to remember, you know, 1,700 gold when it was 1,100, everybody would have been high-fiving people. But now, just because we're not at 2,000 gold, it's like a negative doomsday event. That's not the case. The miners are making money hand over fist, and they need to find more gold. And quite frankly, it blows me away when I look at what's going on in the US equity markets, where people are buying these stocks at record valuations and ignoring the most underloved sector probably for the last decade, which is mining.
Definitely. You know, I saw a chart last night. It showed the last gold rally, and it was like there was multiple times 10 to 20% pullbacks, and we went through what, a 10 to 15% correction, and everyone's freaking out. Like, I just think that's crazy. And it's like the underlying factors that are still going to drive gold, they didn't just disappear overnight, but that's just the way the market is these days. I feel like, you know,
look, everyone's a trader. No one's an investor. That's the problem, right? And the traders are going to get their ESs handed to them when the precipitous drop does occur. And it's going to be a bunch of lemmings running for the door versus people who are slowly investing in these gold companies and accumulating material positions for what could be a double or triple even from these current gold prices. So look, it's this market, everything happens so fast. The sell-offs are quicker and more furious. But I would put that just as a normal event in a bull run that gold currently is under.
Yeah, I totally agree. So what's the one thing you're most excited about for Trillium Gold in the next 12 months?
There's a few, but I mean, if I was to narrow down the one, I'll give you 1A and 1B. 1A is drilling Rivard.
Yeah.
Because remember that analogy I gave you on our last interview? I think I said it's the equivalent of like Usain Bolt marrying a supermodel. What's the kid going to look like? Well, that's what we're going to be drilling for. Basically, the Newman Todd structure intersecting those high grade veins. But, no one really has put any value whatsoever on Gold Center, and we will be applying for that permit probably today or tomorrow. Then you've got a 50-day window, but drilling Gold Center and effectively looking for the continuation of one of the world's largest mines onto our property, that's pretty exciting as well. So 1A, 1B, the political answer.
Very excited. So, of course, we'll be covering it. We've got many more videos with you guys. So what's the best way for investors to find out more information about Trillium Gold?
Look, go to our website, trilliumgold.com. You can get my number probably off of that, or at least send an info email. I respond to them. I call you back. That's the best way to do it. But I'm happy, call me, email me. Happy to address any questions, concerns, or just talk shop about what we think's going on.
Great, Russell. Well, I appreciate it, and we'll definitely be having you back. So we look forward to more updates. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. That wraps the interview up. We're out of here. Drop some comments below. Let us know what you think. Always remember, guys, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. I also wanted to say that this video was, of course, sponsored by Trillium Gold, and all of the details are in the description down below. So thank you so much, guys, and have a great day.